so many like things that haunt me from that playlist live.
Honestly, a highlight.
Wow. Yeah. So come hang out with us every Tuesday as we chat about anything and everything from OG YouTube days to pop culture, adulting, and way more.
Literally nothing is off limits from the big sisters you never asked for. So be sure to subscribe to That's Loaded on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
That's Loaded.
Hey, what's up? Hey guys, it's Caitlin B and welcome back to my channel. We're bringing it back to the OG days with a makeup tutorial because I haven't done one in so long and I was just feeling nostalgic, okay? So we're just sitting down having a little chit chat today. I have a very exciting announcement for you. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know the tea, but for those of you who don't or missed it, we'll be chatting all about that. Also, huge thank you to Lancome for sponsoring this video. I used so many of their products to achieve this makeup look today. Absolutely love them, so I cannot wait to share them with you. And as always, all the makeup that I used in this video, as well as like my accessories and my top, everything will be linked down in the description box below. Let's hop, skip, and a jump into it. My face is so much more pale than my body, RN. We'll fix that with the foundation. But first I'm gonna go in with Lancome's Prep and Hydrate Primer. Lancome has two different primers. One of them is Prep and Matte. If you have oily skin, the other one is the Prep and Hydrate. I have normal to dry skin, so I went with the Hydrate. I just apply like a pea-sized amount, not much at all. It has this nice like peachy color. I'm not always a primer person. I think sometimes you just don't need it, but I actually really like this one because first of all, it gives me a nice glow that I feel like comes through with the foundation. It also makes the foundation just apply really smoothly. It just looks really, really nice and blended. And this is infused with like 14 different skincare ingredients to actually make your skin look plump and hydrated. So you are getting those skincare benefits from this, which we love. Onto the foundation. I love this foundation. I actually used this, I think last year. I completely went through like 2 bottles. This stuff is legit. This is the Taunt You Doll foundation. I have 3 different shades. I'm not sure which one I am right now just because I haven't seen the sun in a minute. I always like to test on my neck to see which one I will be matching. This one is way too light for me. I love the formula of this. It does match. I don't know. You know what? I think I'm gonna mix these two because I honestly feel like I'm right in between these 2 shades. This one is 220 Buff C and this one is 140 Ivory N. I'm gonna apply these to the back of my hand, just 1 pump each to start because it goes a long way. Like this is a very lightweight foundation. Like it's not super thick, so it does spread. Mix this palette on the back of my hand. I feel like I'm doing a painting. I think I'm gonna use a beauty blender today. Oh yeah, that's like so perfect. This is a very long wearing foundation. On days that I am filming or shooting a bunch of content for Instagram or something like that, or the blog, I'll wear this because it lasts all day long. It doesn't transfer. It's also oil free, but it is technically a matte foundation, which normally I don't go for because I do have normal to dry skin, but I find this is a very like velvety, smooth finish. It doesn't like make me look dry by any means, which I find that some matte foundations do, which is why I tend to steer clear of them. But this one is good. And honestly, that's what makes it great when you're shooting with this because it doesn't give you like that shiny look. Like I always get shiny in my T-zone after a long day or just like with these studio lights. I'm gonna put some on my eyelids. I have very veiny eyelids. So this just evens that out a little bit. Just gonna add a little bit more of each to the back of my hand. I always like to start with less and then build it up. And another thing I really love about this foundation is they have over 50 shades of this foundation so far, expanding from like medium to full coverage. And they're continually every year coming out with more shades. I'm just bringing this down my neck. I forgot I used self tanner last week and I always forget to exfoliate it off of my neck. So it always fades and is super patchy. Makes me look like a dinosaur, but you know, kind of a vibe. Yeah, okay, I feel like that looks so much more even now. My face matches my body. I would use the Lancome concealer, but I accidentally got this for my self-tanner shade, so it's way too dark for me right now. So instead, I'm gonna use my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is in the shade Creme Brulee. I also just like to apply a little bit on my lids. Also, by the time you're seeing this video, I think Sarah and I's podcast is now officially live. I am so excited to finally talk about this. It's been in the works for so long, so I figured I might as well chit chat about it. So Sarah and I, Sarah Bell, I'm sure most of you know who she is. If not, she'll be linked down below. Go give her a follow. But Sarah and I have been talking about coming out with a podcast for actual years. Since we live in different states, we just didn't know how it would be possible to record a podcast realistically. So we put the idea on hold for so long until more and more podcasts started coming out where the hosts didn't live together. And now, like as of 2020, so many co-hosts are doing that. So there's so many platforms now online, technology is crazy, where you can actually like successfully record from different places. And we finally decided to actually make this a reality in July. And we've been working on it like seriously ever since. Now, by the time you're watching this, I'm pretty sure the podcast is out. So I would be stoked if you checked it out. It's called That's Loaded Podcast. I will link the trailer down below. But otherwise, we officially launch on the 15th and we're going to come out with 2 episodes. So you'll be able to binge some loaded podcasts. Moving on to my brows, I am using Lancome's Brow Define Pencil. This is in the shade 05 Light Golden Brown. Love that it has the spoolie on one end and then it has the retractable pencil. Really, really easy to use. I've been trying to film these Caitmas videos and was unsuccessful a couple days because I was working solely on the podcast launch and cover stuff, Instagram, editing the episodes, all of that fun behind the scenes stuff, doing meetings. And I was like, you know what? I get so annoyed when people continually talk about this big project they have in the works, but they're unable to talk about it. I was trying really hard not to be that person, but of course we were like really excited. So there were a couple days where we're like, stay tuned. I know that everybody and their mother has a podcast right now, but this is just something that we've been wanting to do for so long. We have so many stories over the past 10 years of being on YouTube, and Sarah and I just genuinely talk to each other all day long about the most random things. Is that a bug? So we just felt like a podcast was the perfect place for us to like continue to dish all these stories we've wanted to talk about. There's just so many things that just didn't really make sense to put on YouTube. So we're going to be posting new episodes every single Tuesday, and we are going to have some loaded guests from time to time. Not every single episode, but we already have some lined up. But if you have anyone at all, like doesn't have to be a YouTuber, it could be a fitness instructor or an astrologist or like a Bravo star, let me know down below if you have any suggestions for who you would love to hear on the podcast. We want to talk to anyone and everyone on That's Loaded, not just YouTubers, so let us know. Okay, I love how natural this brow pencil looks. Sometimes I feel like it's so easy to just like over dry your brows because you're just having a time. I feel like this one's like almost foolproof to overdo. I'm going to set that with my Essence Make Me Brow eyebrow gel. This is literally $1, $3. I kind of go out of order when I'm doing my makeup. It's just, I don't know. It's just what makes sense in my mind. Works for me. I'm just gonna set my under eyes and my eyelids with my Honest Beauty loose powder. Just a little dab. I don't have to do this all over my face because the foundation is a matte finish. So it pretty much gives me the look of applying a translucent powder without actually having to do it. I'm not gonna be cakey over here. Cake face who? Don't know her. I have been loving this powder. You guys, this is so good at making me look super bronzy, like you're about to see this transform, honey. So this is Lancome's Absolute Powder. This is a really fine, delicate powder that's gonna give you a really luminous, even finish. Has like soft focus micro sparkles, so it really optimizes the light. It looks incredible. But what I do, I got the shade Absolute Almond. I pour a little bit into the cap, but because I get a darker shade, it acts like a bronzer and it's like the most beautiful glow. I have been loving this. I'm gonna use a big fluffy brush like this. I have hair on this, that's disgusting. But I'm gonna start with my cheeks and then go on my forehead and just anywhere that you would normally apply a bronzer. And then for my forehead, I like to take a smaller brush just so that I can get a little bit more precise. And I also like to bring it on my nose. And the best part is you need like the smallest amount to achieve an all over facial glow. So this is pretty much gonna last me forever. For my highlighter, I'm using Lancome's Dual Finish Highlighter in the shade 05. How beautiful. This is so pretty. This highlighter has light reflecting pearls. It gives you just a really beautiful, smooth, natural highlight, but it's also very buildable. So if you want a more intense highlight, you definitely can achieve that. You can also apply this highlighter wet or dry. So if you want something a little bit more intense, like I said, you would spritz your makeup brush with water or like a Fix Plus spray, dab it on, and then apply it, and it'll be way more intense. I also like to apply this on my nose. Gives you like a little button nose. It's so cute. And then I also always put it on my lip. Fabulous, darling. Oh, I forgot. I love to apply this on my collarbones and on my shoulders. It looks fire. I always do this even when I'm not shooting. I just feel like it's just fun. Okay, moving on to the eyeballs. Well, first of all, the palette I'm gonna be using is Naked Reloaded. I did not even intend to do that, but I feel like it's fate that I grabbed a loaded palette. But I just love these shades. A holiday party at home. I love getting dressed up and not leaving. Sounds like a dream. I'm gonna start with the shade Bribe, which is like the lightest peachy shade, and start that underneath my brow bone. Or on my brow bone, underneath my brow bone. I think it's on my brow bone. I've lost my booty guru touch. Brightens that up, acts as a transition. Also going to take the same brush, and very opposite of the palette, we have Blur, which is just so fitting. It's a perfect transition shade. I always like to start with it and then also end with it if I need to. Now I'm gonna take the shade Bucked. Love that name, okay. And I'm going to work that on the outer corner. Another matte shade that's very like buildable, but I'm just gonna bring that into the crease. I'm gonna bring you closer because I feel like I'm annoying and you can't see me. I'm doing a little Q&A on my stories right now, so I thought I would answer a couple other of your questions. But some of you were asking what kind of topics you can expect from us. If you listen to the trailer, you will know nothing is off limits, okay? Oh, also switching brushes to, this is the medium sweeper from Sigma Beauty, and I'm still taking Bucked, but I'm gonna run this underneath my lower lash line. I feel like eyeshadow just looks so elevated when you apply it underneath your lash line. What's the word? Looks more fancy, you know? Yeah, we're gonna be talking about a lot of topics. First of all, we obviously want to dive into OG YouTube days and just kind of talk about like what it was really like growing up on YouTube, because we really started before this whole like influencer culture was even a thing. I still hate that term so much with a burning passion, but yeah, we started before that was even a term, even a thing. No idea where this was going. And because this industry was so new, it's like there is no blueprint for how to do things. So, you know, we've made so many mistakes over the years, and I think it'd be really fun to talk about. Holding that thought, I'm going to apply Lancome's Les Monochromatiques. Ooh la la. Super pretty, like shimmery chocolate brown, using the same brush I used for Bucked. And I'm gonna start darkening up the outer corners. Yeah, we wanna talk about that and just kind of behind the scenes stories. We have so many funny things that have happened at YouTube events and random Cara trips over the years. Alex will also be a loaded guest. At some point, we'll be talking about what it's like working with your significant other and just kind of like our experience with it, how we started even approaching that subject, and our tips, if we recommend it, all of that fun stuff, and just what it's really like on a day-to-day basis, you know, because a lot of people don't know that we actually do work together, but I've never really shared how it got to be that way. Applying that same color with a smaller brush underneath, just kind of like the outer third. Also, this is a very buildable eyeshadow, which I love because I often have a heavy hand when I'm applying eyeshadow and then I regret it. But we're also gonna be talking about goal setting, productivity tips, past relationships. Like, there's so many things. Get excited. For my actual lid, the middle of the lid, if you will, I'm gonna start with Reputation because it's lighter, but it still has this really pretty, like rosy brown color. And I'm just gonna pat this in the center of my lid and then work my way in and out. That is so pretty. I love how I'm doing all of this to not leave my house. But that's just 2020 in a nutshell, you know? We do it for us, right? We don't need an excuse to get all dolled up. Finish off this look by darkening it up one more time with the shade Endgame, which is the darkest brown. I think it's matte, but it has so much like fallout around it that we don't really know what we're getting. Maybe it's shimmery, who knows? And then I'm just going to apply this like right on the outer edge. And I'm getting fallout, but I applied that translucent powder underneath here before I started the eyeshadow, so it'll be really easy to sweep it off. Oh yeah, that is fun. Yep. I'm so mad that I don't have anywhere to go with this. This is just so fun. I feel like this would be a really fun New Year's look, even if you're just ordering pizza on the couch. Then I'm taking a little bit of Endgame and applying it on the outer third again. I'm gonna take a clean brush with a little bit of that blur and start just kind of blending the edges. Another person asked if there's going to be a focus topic every episode if that's loaded or if we're just gonna be rambling. So we will definitely be having focus topics. We don't want it to just be like totally all over the place because I know that can be hard to listen to and like digest what's even happening. We want there to be a purpose every episode and you like take something away, whether it be entertaining, whether it be inspiring. We want you to feel like you're just hanging out with your best friends or the big sisters you never asked for, but it will still be focused on like a certain topic or a theme. Like we're filming a Christmas episode tonight, but we have multiple topics to cover, so it's gonna be really fun. And we also had you guys submit your holiday theme stories, whether it be like really funny, embarrassing, memorable gifts, just anything surrounding the holidays. So we're gonna feature some of your stories in that episode as well. So excited to record that tonight. I have this little black liner I'm just going to apply on my waterline. It wouldn't be a Caitlin B tutorial if I didn't do my winged liner. Alex asked me the other day if I have ever not done a winged liner. I'm like, why would I do that? But I will be using Lancome's art liner. This is super easy to use. I know so many people always tell me they're like terrified of using a liquid liner because they're scared to like draw all over, but this has a very short little nub to draw with, but a very long handle. So it makes it really easy to get that precise, like get really close to it, but still have a lot of area to work with. So I find it really easy, but I feel like now I'm just gonna mess up because I said that. Okay, in my defense, it is kind of hard to film and do your liner, but we'll see what happens. I always like to start in the middle, work my way out, and then go from the inner corner to the middle. And then I just like to draw my wing, you know, fly away. Boom. And then I will work it in. Now the trick is to make these look like they're twins. See if we can do it. I will take a sister at this point, you know? It's always like the angle of the wing that I mess up. This liner also is so waterproof. I have never used a more waterproof liner, so if you think you're gonna cry that night, I'm just saying, she's gotcha. Snakes, I just made it too thick. Not amused. I got cocky. I'm gonna try to fix this with eyeshadow first. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to make this one really thick too, and we'll just forget that ever happened. Okay. It's as good as it's gonna get. I feel like from afar, if I just angle myself, it'll be fine. Fine, I'm not actually going anywhere, okay? I'm gonna curl my lashes and try to hide the fact that there is so much mascara on my curler. Just disregard, please. But this mascara, you guys, Lancome's Monsieur Big. The nickname for this mascara is Mr. Big. Can we just talk about that for a minute? Because most iconic Sex and the City character. Like, don't even tell me you were an Aiden girl, because that is not correct. If you've been around here for a while, you know I am so picky about my mascara. So when I love a new mascara, I need to shout it from the rooftops, okay? This is so volumizing. I love the bristles. Like, hello, so big, but it's volumizing and lengthening. It's also pretty buildable. It's also smudge proof. Like, that is a requirement for my mascara. I don't know why, but so many mascaras just flake off onto my face and get like super smudgy underneath. It's atrocious and not right. But yeah, I find this is flake proof, doesn't give me that smudgy raccoon vibe. Be approved, be approved. I also like to apply this on my lower lash line, of course, especially for like a saucy makeup look like this. This side has the Mr. Big. I just love calling it that. This side has nothing on it. Make sure I pop. Always finish it off with the lips. Just transforms the look, you know? But going in with my current favorite lip liner, this is Lancome's Les Lip Liner in the shade 11 Bronzelle. It's a perfect like nudie pink color. It goes with so many different lip colors. I'm going to outline my lips. I like to overline just a little bit, especially near my Cupid's bow, just to make your lips look a little bit more full. And I always start by like drawing an X. I find it just like makes your lips look so much more full when you do that. I think we're done here. That's the look. So then from here, I'm going to kind of like fill it in just very lightly. You don't have to be perfect by any means. It just adds like a really nice base to the Juicy Tubes. Juicy Tubes were the MVP. If you had a Juicy Tube, I wanted to be you. These have 3 different finishes. You can get the sparkle, the creamy, or the jelly, just depending on what floats your boat that day. I'm applying the shade Hallucination, which just really gives me that like early 2000s, 90s lip vibe, which I'm just so here for. Also, speaking of 90s lips, I just honorable mention to this fine specimen of a lipstick. This is the shade 245, that perfect shimmery brown 90s lip that I'm just, oh my gosh, obsessed with. I'm just gonna dab a little bit into the center so you can get a little taste of it. If you've never used these, run and get it. So high shine, and I thought it would just be perfect for this look. Like nothing screams holiday than a shiny, juicy lip. These give you 4 hours of hydration, which is amazing. Most lip glosses come out in like 2 seconds. If you guys enjoyed this holiday inspired makeup tutorial, this was so much fun to just sit down and chat with you guys, and it just really brings me back to the OG days, you know, brings you back to the roots. I will link everything that I used for this tutorial down in the description box below. Don't forget to check out Lancome's products. I used so many of their goodies today and I absolutely love them. They get it. And don't forget to check out Sarah and I's new podcast at That's Loaded Podcast on Instagram, and I will also link the trailer down below / the first 2 episodes. And I would so appreciate it if you subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We got you covered. But yeah, that's about it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will see you in my next one. Mwah!